beyond flaky, you might have a problem. Long time no see. Has it really been that long? It's been a little minute. As we enter the winter time and the colder months, I want to take a little bit of time to talk about something that I've been struggling with, and I know like a lot of other people might be struggling with around this time of year, and that is a dry, flaky, itchy scalp. What I specifically think that I have not gone to a dermatologist yet. First and foremost, if that's what you feel like you need to do, go ahead and do it. I feel like my symptoms are manageable enough that I can do things myself that will allow my scalp to clear up without spending that little money to go to the doctor. Anyways, what I want to talk about today is seborrheic dermatitis. This is kind of like a common and not contagious scalp rash that presents itself as red, itchy scalp, very big flakes, and kind of like scaly looking flakes. I classify normal dandruff as being like the little round white drops where you're like, oh, I got dandruff, but this is like beyond dandruff. You'll know it when you see it. I'm gonna add in some video of me right here. This was actually the other day. I was about to part my hair down the middle and wear like a little two low bun style, and then I parted it and I was like, is my scalp flaky? And the person I was with was like, let me record it for you. And I saw this video and I was like, oh girl, like this is beyond flaky. You might have a problem. Some of the causes of seborrheic dermatitis include stress, hormonal changes, and cold and dry weather. Ironically, my scalp started acting up more once I came back here from London, and I was super confused because I was like, isn't it colder out there? But for some reason when I got out here, both my scalp and my skin really start acting a monkey, okay? My face has been super dry, especially like in my nose and lip area, and my scalp seems like it can never get enough moisture. But of course, like literally just in my video a little bit, I was talking about how I did not want to overload my scalp or my hair with super heavy oils during this time, because ironically, heavy oils make your dry scalp feel itchier. I'm like, what we gonna do here? Some scientists even categorize this as a winter flare, where your scalp gets worse in the winter time, but in the summer and pretty much the rest of the year, your head is okay. And you're like, and they think this is because your head and your scalp, of course, is exposed to more sunlight and heat during the summertime, which does not give the fungus or the yeast a chance to get up there and grow. Speaking of yeast, this condition can also be caused by an overgrowth of, let me make sure I say this right, Melissesia. Hey girl. So Melissesia is actually a part of our normal skin biome, but of course too much of anything can be a bad thing. When our body and our skin starts to produce too much of this yeast, it leads to problems like that. On top of that, this scalp condition can also be familial. It's kind of like, okay, everything is against me, what can help assist it out? And we not with that. So we're gonna talk about some of the ways that we can prevent this and treat this. I'm gonna start with treatment first, because I am just a firm believer in like obviously treating the problem and then working on preventing it. It's kind of hard to like prevent something when you already have it, if that makes sense. I want to put a disclaimer right here. This is not the place for you to like bash anybody's methods of treatment that they may use. I know sometimes we can get super deep into like the chemical versus natural argument, but I'm here to say that even H2O is a chemical. So let's use our brains. The first thing that can help you, especially on wash days as part of your normal maintenance during the winter time, is switching to an antifungal shampoo. Now there are different active ingredients in different types of shampoos, so you kind of got to do like a mismatch game and figure out the type of active ingredient that your scalp needs. Right now I am using the Selsun Blue shampoo, and that active ingredient is selenium sulfide, but I also know that Neutrogena has like a T-gel one. That active ingredient is coal tar. So you really have to figure out which one works for you. Thankfully these are all like relatively cheap. I'm not gonna say super cheap because they can get up there in price, but you do have to figure out which one works best for you. And so I suggest like obviously trying new things and then phasing it out after a while if it does not work. Some other options for attempting to kill the fungus or treat the yeast include zinc and ketoconazole. There are also prescription shampoos. Look at my scalp itching. There are also prescription shampoos that you can go to your dermatologist or your doctor and get prescribed to you, but obviously they're going to be more expensive compared to something that you might pay for just over the counter or just in the normal hair section. Now, if that sounds like a little bit too much for your scalp, or you're not quite at the level where you feel like you need that yet, some natural or more natural remedies that you can use are before every single wash, you want to do an apple cider vinegar and water treatment. I know people are like, that's doing too much, that's doing too much. Listen, when your scalp is looking like how mine was looking, you just want to get it over with. Like, I don't care if I'm washing my hair extra, or if some people think like that's doing a lot. You have to kill off whatever is on your scalp, and you like want to help that process in any way. So typically, of course, when you're doing an apple cider vinegar treatment on locks, people do a lock bath and things like that, but I personally would just put the apple cider vinegar and water, or apple cider vinegar, baking soda and water in a spray bottle. Get a little shakety shake, but not too much. You don't want to make a volcano. Spray that on my scalp, making sure that you're rubbing it in super duper well, because you want to get like all those active spots. You don't want to scratch it with your nails. You only want to do it with the pads of your fingers to disrupt that dandruff. Like, you don't want to scratch your scalp and make it even more irritated than it possibly already is. Then I would leave that on my head with a plastic bag, or just anything. Just have your hair in a little space bun or a ponytail or whatever while you go on about your day for about 20 minutes. And then I would get in the shower and rinse that solution off, and then go ahead and use whichever shampoo that I want. Either one of the shampoos that I previously mentioned, or Dr. Bronner's has a tea tree shampoo, and I find it to be like more potent than other tea tree shampoos. I actually might start using that again instead of like using my Trader Joe's tea tree shampoo. With the Dr. Bronner's, obviously you want to dilute it, and I saw this one lady do it. I do not remember what her YouTube name was, but I was like, dang, this is a good idea. She added the soap and the water into like one of those oil bottles that we typically use to oil our hair. You know, it has a little pointed tip, but that way you can reach your scalp super easy, and you can make sure that you're like actually getting the product on your scalp. You know what I'm saying? Now that was treatment, both natural and unnatural. But now we're gonna go to prevention, because obviously once we get it under control, we want it to stay under control. Going back to the apple cider vinegar, you can essentially make like a toner or an astringent for your hair. I actually saw some people online talking about how they use glycolic acid or salicylic acid as like a pre-poo treatment. So they put glycolic acid into one of those nozzle bottles as well, apply it to their scalp, get in the shower, rinse it off, then shampoo their head. The salicylic acid one, CeraVe actually makes like a salicylic acid bar soap. So if you want to use that to wash your hair, it will be just like using a shampoo bar. Go ahead, obviously do a patch test first to see how you're going to react. Our goal is to prevent the problem, not create new problems. If you are interested in making kind of like a natural astringent, which I think I actually might start doing this, you can get ACV and water plus the essential oil of your choice. Typically I would say peppermint or tea tree oil. Add that to a small spray bottle. And I know for me, like my scalp can feel so irritated after the gym because I just have all my hair like bonk. And of course with locks, like my hair is sweating more. My hair was sweating a lot with natural hair too. Your hair sweating, period. Once you get home from the gym, or even right after the gym, you can spray that little solution directly onto your scalp, especially on those little hot spots. And once you get home, you can just hop in the shower and rinse that right out. That may provide you with some relief and kind of like target those problems before they can even get started. Another thing that we want to do is make sure that our hair's environment is clean in general. I want us to think about like how often we're cleaning our pillowcases, our bonnets, and our scarves especially. It's super easy to like go forever without cleaning your scarf or your bonnet, but we're trying to create like a clean environment for our hair, not an environment for this fungus to grow or breed. So we want to make sure that we get that under control, and we're maintaining and creating a safe, clean environment for our hair and our scalp. In addition to those prevention methods, For myself personally, I'm gonna focus on like treating the issue from the inside out with like candida in general. I'm gonna start drinking Paw d'Arco tea. It's a tea made of like the tree bark of a tropical plant. I'll put some more information and links in the description bar, of course, but this tea allegedly helps to inhibit the growth of yeast and kind of stop inflammation in general. I love drinking tea, period, so I'm like, if it has health benefits, that's great. I plan on adding a cup of that in the morning time and a cup of that in the nighttime to my routine. This is also supposed to be really good for like feminine health, but it has a bunch of other benefits in general. Again, check the description box. I am also going to start incorporating food grade, keyword food grade, diatomaceous earth into my routine. People say that adding like just a teaspoon into a cup full of water in the morning time or in the evening or just once daily is also really good for a cleanse in general. It's supposed to help your skin become better, strengthen your bones, in addition to helping your hair become better. Obviously, your scalp is skin, so anything that is skin healing can help us out in the long run. We want it all. I need all the healing, okay? All the healing. That is also supposed to be really good for inhibiting the growth of candida. So we're gonna try it all. Now, these additions shouldn't just work alone. Obviously, we don't wanna make just like diet changes. We wanna make lifestyle changes, because prevention and treatment obviously starts with a change in our lifestyle in itself. So I already take a daily probiotic, but in case any of you do not, I wanna pass along that good news. Your gut health can be linked to so many problems, so I highly suggest taking a daily probiotic to combat any of those issues or to stop them before they can even get started. In addition to that, we need to get our diet, you know, balanced back right. I was kind of wilding in London, I'm not gonna lie. I was just eating a lot, doing a lot, feeling a lot. So with that said, I'm gonna make sure that I'm focusing on making sure that my diet, you know, has a lot less sugar in it. It's Halloween, it was Thanksgiving, it's almost Christmas, but we can't use that as an excuse. We wanna limit our sugar intake, especially like sugary drinks like soda and non-natural fruit juices. We also wanna limit the amount of super processed foods and processed carbs that we're intaking. That can increase your bodily health in general, as well as combating how candida manifests in your body. I hope part of this video was helpful and I provided somebody with a little bit of help that they may need if they are going through this at the same time as well. Don't worry, it's given High School Musical. We're all in this together. And if you're not, good for you. Don't come bashing, maxing, outlashing anyone else, but leave a comment if you found this helpful. If you suffer from this, also let me know what you have been doing to keep it under control, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.